We are live. Let me see if I got this working. I might have it working. If I have this new update working, the chat is gonna pop off. Okay, so I may have it working. So anyway, we got a big show for you today, guys. Real big show, big show. Colby Covington absolutely crashes out. He turns his back on his political affiliation. He turns his back on the UFC. Big news. The guy who was the company man, the guy that was supporting the president, the politics, everything. He switched it up. He broke character. Man, it got crazy. Let me see if I can get this freaking thing to work up here. Anyway, I'm your host, King David MMA. We have a big show for you today. What's up? Let's go. I'm a pro MMA champion, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. I coach at Extreme Couture, and I'm here with some big news for you guys. Let's name the show, man. I need to name the show, right? Like, I need a name for the show. We're going to get into that. And if you've been subscribed for a while, make sure you got your notifications on because you know the chat pops off. I like to have a dialogue, not just a monologue. And I want to connect with you guys. So subscribe and tap the notifications so you can hop on these lives with me and you could be part of the stream. Let's go. Speaking of sponsors, Fight Circus, home of the freak show fights, guys. Fight Circus has the craziest fights you've ever seen in your entire life. Go to Fight Circus on Instagram at Fight Circus. Okay, this is a Felony Charles Bennett shirt. You can hit his Cash App. If you want to support the MMA legend, this shirt is banned. The shirt is banned by BKFC. So when you see Felony walking out in the white version of this shirt, there is a big piece of red tape going through here. They banned the shirt. And if you need one, hit me up, King David MMA, and I will put you in contact with the link for the Fight Circus store. We got you. Oh, also, if you know a gym owner, because you probably train mixed martial arts, send your coach to Studio Millions. They will absolutely love you. Studio Millions will pack their gym full of students who stay, pay, and refer. They'll be thrilled. And it's just the right thing to do, guys. Send them to Studio Millions. Our best case study so far is we've got $2 million in gym sales for one gym in just 18 months and a bunch of other success stories and all that. So if that sounds like something that your coach would like, Studio Millions will get them right. Okay, so I got this thing set up now. Let me see if I can make the chat bigger. All right, so let's go. Okay, so I can read the freaking chat for once, guys. This is gonna be crazy. This is gonna be crazy, guys. We got a major upgrade to the studio. Okay, big upgrade, big upgrade. This is the biggest news of the night. And yeah, all right. So the chat is popping. I'll be able to read what you guys say, and let's get right into it. Today's top story of the entire show is Colby Covington absolutely crashes out, man. He says that politics, and this ties back to what I said several lives ago where people were bashing me in the comments because I said I agree with Clavicular on at least one topic, but the specific topic was that politics are jester. Politics are absolute tomfoolery. I don't get involved in politics. You may see me on multi-million view Instagram reels saying political adjacent things. That's more me like enjoying being like a pro wrestler after I win. I actually don't know too much about politics, but I do know that in a lot of ways, being political only has a downside because politics is a dirty game, as Colby Covington says. He says, politics is a dirty game. He said that getting involved in politics and having a political take, and he put America before his own career, he said that was career suicide, guys. Those are his words. Those are strong words for somebody who was very America this, president that. I'm the first UFC fighter to bring the belt to the White House. He had a bunch of things that he felt he was doing to promote the UFC, to align himself with the president. And, you know, now he says there's no loyalty. Colby Covington turns his back on his political allies. on the guy he says is the like best human being on the planet. I'm not going to say the guy's name because if you say the guy's name, but he's the president of the United States right now. If you say his name on a stream, my boy who's got 600,000 subscribers says they do not show your stream to anyone new. They only show it to your subscribers. So I'm going to test that out. Even though I have a AI generated image in the thumbnail for this, let's hope that they still show this to people who have not yet subscribed. And if that's you, then subscribe and tap the notification bell. But no busters, okay? No freaking dorks. No, like, pencil neck geeks, okay? We want winners around here. We want real ones. I want to have a conversation with real ones. So when people hit the chat, I'm like, oh, that's my guy right there. I don't want to be like, dude, why are these nerds in the chat, right? Same thing in the comment section, guys. Go bang on nerds in the comments, okay? I give you total permission to do it. Pick on them, okay? Because they have dumb takes in the comments. You can go back and see all my previous lives, and some of the comments are just, it really reinforces that politics are jester, because when you realize that the people in the comment section who have the dumbest takes ever, who don't even I'm speaking plain English. They're responding in English. We speak the same language, and they have the dumbest take ever, and they can't even comprehend what someone's saying, and they just take it into this weird space. It's just like, that person's allowed to vote, guys. So, furthermore, in a previous live, if you're a subscriber, you saw when I popped off on politics because Donald, that guy who's the president, he had Jake Paul on stage. And he says he completely endorses Jake Paul for political office. And you guys want me to be involved in politics? You guys want me to have a take on politics? You guys want me to take a political side? And come on, guys. Colby Covington's experiencing it right now. And remember what I said about Sneeko? We talked about this in a previous live too. I said that Sneeko is calling out the people who he believes run everything, and he's bashing them, and then he got himself banned. And it's like, dude, you didn't see that coming, bro? You're complaining that they're silencing voices, and you got your voice silenced, bro. Like, think for 2 seconds, okay? So anyways, that's my rant about not being political, inspired by Colby Covington. And, he said he's completely stepping away from politics. So America's favorite fighter is no longer going to be, I guess, repping his political party the way he used to. He said that the actual way, he thought that he could promote America and go to the White House, and then the UFC would see value in that and be like, oh, wow, there's a whole half the country would love this guy and half the country would hate this guy. We can make some money with this dude. Instead of that, he says the way the UFC actually works is that UFC's lawyer, Hunter Campbell, who's been nothing but cool to me personally every time I see the guy. So I don't know about any of this. This is all Colby saying this. He says, they will ice you the F out. It's either do what they say, you're forced to fight exactly who they want you to, or they put you on ice. So Colby's been on ice for 14 months. He says he's almost out. He says he doesn't see himself in the UFC moving forward. He's probably under contract for another year, but after that he sees himself moving on. So he's abandoned the UFC too. Colby Covington, guys. That's the state of affairs right now, is that Colby Covington, the most in character, never breaks character, just stays with the script dude out there, is now breaking character and abandoning his political affiliations and abandoning his desire to fight in the UFC. That's wild. That's crazy. That speaks to the bigger issue of what's going on in mixed martial arts, which is there's a lot of controversy going on about fighter pay, and it got even sketchier. We're going to talk about the MVP card in a minute. They just announced their whole card. My buddy, Kenny Cross, is on the card, and I'm super excited for him. We're going to get into all that. He's fighting an absolute savage, and I believe that he is going to shock the world. But before we get into that, there's a meme came out. Someone has announced that the UFC is no longer paying for, amidst the controversy, fighter pay, MVP's paying well. MVP has a stacked card. UFC doesn't pay the fighters. Michael Venom Page is speaking out. Conor Benn got signed to $15 million for boxing. They can't get John Jones, and they can't get Conor McGregor, and they can't get this, and this guy doesn't want to fight, and they need more money, and they lost Francis, and all the UFC fighter pay drama. It comes out that the UFC is no longer going to pay for multiple cornermen's flights. Like, think about that, guys. You get one head coach who they will get a flight and a hotel room for. So, like, if that's your striking coach, you got to pay for your own jiu-jitsu coach. You got to pay for your own wrestling coach. If you want to bring a dietitian or a weight cut specialist, bro, that's coming out of your pocket. The UFC don't play that. And it got even colder, guys, because people were saying that this is a new policy. And several fighters spoke out and said, dude, this policy is not new. This is how they've been doing us for years. And it's like, bro, like, can you imagine if you had a decision between playing NFL football, like going into the NFL draft, or maybe you wrestled in high school and boxed, you know, and the UFC's like, hey, you should sign with us. And then you hear these stories of like, they won't fly your corner man. They won't fly your freaking corner man. And, you know, some people are saying that is, you know, for international shows. Other people are saying that that's always been the policy. But like, man, that's a bad look right now. So they must have something up their sleeve, right? They can't just let this go on with a competitor in the market now, MVP coming out. Because the Lerone Murphy fight was not fireworks. And I get that the UFC brands themselves as being in the business of looking for the best guys in the world, or the people who could become the best guys in the world, and having those guys fight. But if that is like the Lerone Murphy fight that just happened with the kind of Russian-ish dude, right? The 145-pound Russian dude with the undefeated dude. Man, that's a tough one, because I'm not gonna lie, guys. If it comes down to watching Lerone Murphy fight that guy, and I don't even remember the dude's name. I want to say Imavov, maybe, something like that, right? If it comes down to watching that fight, or watching Nate Diaz versus Mike Perry, I'm watching Mike Perry, the king of violence. And I'm not the biggest like Nate Diaz fan, guys. I know that's controversial. I was going for Conor. Hot take, I was going for Conor. But yeah, man, so my heart would be rooting for Mike Perry, but I just feel that there's such an easy path to victory for Nate Diaz that like the fight is borderline asinine, except for the fact that like Nate probably will stand with him. That's the craziest part of the whole thing. And Nate can still win on the feet, man, but like, I'm literally like, I hope I don't know, something just about Mike Perry, man. I like that dude. I hope Mike Perry KOs him and just ascends into superstardom. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like he's over there taking the hard route, the BKFC route. And, you know, it'd be kind of cool, like, the dude that's in his own lane. He has a very, very unique personality. He's living by his own rules. He's fighting BKFC. He turned into a megastar in BKFC and like is the baddest bare knuckle dude on the planet. And like for that dude to get a dub in MMA against an MMA legend and just like fully ascend on Netflix, and you know, his crazy ass promo after the fight, all that, man, I would love to see that, right? I feel like we've already seen Nate's, you know, ascension when he beat Conor. I'm not surprised, motherfuckers. You know what I mean? So that was like a hot moment, right? But like now we're trying to relive the moment, or is it like, I don't know, man. It's just like I feel like if we're trading stocks, Mike Perry's stock is still ascending, right? So I want to see him do really well, and I'm happy that Nate got paid, but you know, I'm rooting for Mike Perry, even though I think he's at a severe disadvantage, and I think that it should be an easy fight for Nate if Nate can drag Mike into grappling exchanges. But probably won't do that, and it'll probably stand up banger, and Mike might catch him. So anyways, one can hope, right? One can hope. Speaking of the MVP card, they announced the entire card. My buddy and former training partner, we used to train together at Extreme Couture. He's now at a different gym, and I am at Extreme Couture coaching and training. And his name is Kenny Cross, Ken the Boss Cross. And he was actually on the Conor McGregor season of The Ultimate Fighter until Conor got there and then said some people had to go. And then they cut him for Conor's guys. So when you heard about that controversy going on, that was actually him. He also beat an undefeated guy on Contender Series. And he is still not in the UFC. So this is an interesting situation because he is fighting a two-time KSW champion who was ranked as like the top prospect in the world. He signed to KSW at 18 years old and won 2 belts there. And my boy is going to upset him in MVP on Netflix on the biggest stage possible in the world. So yeah, things are getting crazy. UFC's not paying for plane tickets. I hope MVP is paying for plane tickets. They could even come out and say that, right? Can you imagine Jake going like, hey, if you're in a UFC contract and you're up for renegotiation, if you guys leave the UFC and if your contract ends, we'll pay for your cornerman when you fight for us. Can you imagine if Jake said that? Like that's a direct hit, man. Ronda started banging on him, saying that this is the far better card, that, it's crazy times, man. And I guess I have like loyalty to the UFC because like I grew up watching the UFC and a lot of my friends have fought in the UFC and I've cornered in the UFC. And every interaction I've personally had with the UFC has always been awesome, right? But then like, I got different stories. Like my guy Felony Charles Bennett's living at the crib right now. They are making money off the Pride archives. They are using a name that he was formerly known as. And they are making money selling those archives, and then my guy's not getting a royalty. You know what I mean? So I hear a different perspective about it too, right? And it's kind of interesting, man. So I hope MVP does well. I hope UFC is just hitting a little speed bump right now. I hope they turn it around. And we stay good vibes only, guys. We stay positive around here. And maybe it's the breath work I do. Maybe it's the sitting in the sunshine for an hour in the morning. Maybe it's meditating in the grass, or maybe it's the 634 milligrams of caffeine that I'm on right now. But I feel great, and I just want good things for people. So speaking of my feeling great, I may be a Chad, okay, guys? So I was talking on a previous live. I popped off yesterday. I went on a full rant about looks maxing and why looks maxing is jester. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so I don't believe that looks maxing is the most important thing for a man to do. You would like to be attractive, right? Like, line up, right? It's not that hard, guys. Jawline given by God, but I stay lined up, So yeah, be attractive, right? Be the attractive version of yourself, but like looks max. And I'm not saying don't looks max. Obviously, like if you've got time to looks max, right? It's not going to hurt you, but it's not this magic pill like they're saying it is. And then that led me down a rabbit hole to discovering that I might be a Chad. Okay. So my girlfriend is amazing. She's a genius. She's a world beauty pageant winner. She is a dime piece. She maybe 20 years younger than me. She's fine, right? Smart, 4.0 at Berkeley, like full on, wholesome, innocent, beautiful dime piece. And I may have not realized that that's, so, some people would say that that's easy for me because I'm a Chad. And like, that might be a blind spot that I have. I'm over here giving, an hour of dating advice in a live stream yesterday, like real solid advice. Like you can go out and implement it, right? But I may have not realized that my results might not be typical, Not everybody's got a God-given jawline. Not everybody's a pro MMA champion, Brazilian jiu-jitsu black belt, coach at the top gym on the planet, right? Like I may have a different life experience than some people, right? Not everybody's flying to Hawaii with their dear friend to go watch him KO somebody stiff and then celebrate. put our toes in the hot sands of the beaches of the world. Not everybody's doing that. So I may unintentionally have fallen into Chad category and have a fucked up perspective on things and have a, have, you know what I'm saying, Felony? You know what I mean? We might just be those dudes, bro. We might be those dudes. And I'm over here like, yeah, man, it's easy, dude. Just find the Whole Foods, buy like the best college you can, and just, you know, go meet a bunch of beautiful, genius women, right? Like how hard could it be, guys? So maybe some people's experiences are different, but yeah, so that was funny because, you know, that leads me into, there's another dude named, his name's Nick, but we'll call him Rick, and we'll say his last name is Luentes, because he's another name. If you say his name on here, then it causes a problem with the algo. But he is firstly concerned with America, and, you know, he's a virgin dude, and he's given like these rants on women, and today's takes that, like, I was just like, bro, this dude like doesn't even understand women. It's like, and not even doesn't understand women. It's like the people he's speaking to are just targeting the wrong women, right? Like that might be my blind spot, because I'm like, dude, just get better women, right? Like go date a world beauty pageant winning genius. Like, just do that, bro. And I might be that dude who's giving that, like, dude, just, you know, it's like if you ask Shaq how to play basketball, and it's like, he's like, oh yeah, I just dunk. And you're like, okay, cool, but you're like 7 feet tall, bro. So it's like one of those things. Maybe I have a skewed perspective on things, guys, you know, or maybe I'm 100% right. And maybe I used to be 242 pounds, and now I'm freaking look like I'm carved out of marble, right? Maybe that's what it is. But yeah, man, I was pretty intrigued by Colby Covington breaking character. I would have preferred him to stay in character, but I think at this point in his career, he's just like over it. I think he's done. I think he's doing what he feels he has to do. Maybe, fuck, man, if he could get out of can you imagine if Kobe got out of his contract and got on this MVP card? They have one fight they're trying to fill up, and apparently the powers that be who offered the fight, my manager says that these people turned it down. But you never know what's really true. Like, did the dude actually turn the fight down? Like, was I in the conversation, or was MVP asking, hey, man, who all do you got? And then my manager submitted a bunch of people, and then he looked at somebody else and said, oh, I'd like to fight that particular guy. You know what I'm saying? So it's not necessarily saying no to me specifically for the final fight on the MVP card. Maybe they just went with somebody else, right? I don't know. But I heard there was one opening, so I was trying to get on there. I suggested Felony get on there. The fight is at 165, so we'd have to put some quarters in Felony's pockets or something, or a couple rolls of quarters, have him make weight, and then my boy Jordan could go fight there. My boy Juice could go fight there. I heard UFC BJJ star Andy Varela wants that final spot to fight on the MVP card. That would be entertaining. But that Andy is a tough guy to fight if you at all allow any form of grappling to occur. Andy's one of the best in the world. And that is a big risk for anyone to take that fight, especially when Andy isn't the most well-known MMA guy, and even in the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu space, he's known, but competitive Jiu-Jitsu isn't publicly known, if that makes any sense, right? So it's like high risk, not super high reward, unless you want to challenge yourself. So I'm curious to see how the final fight fills out. I'm excited to see the MVP card, and I would absolutely love the next MVP card to be headlined by Jake Paul versus Rampage Jackson in MMA. I think that's a great fight, guys. Maybe I'm tripping. Or maybe I'm biased because I'm boys with Rampage. Maybe, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to keep it as real as possible on here. And now I'm like thinking about subconscious biases that I might have, because I have a very different life experience, right? So like, I know these people personally. It's an interesting place to be in. I'm grateful for it. And yeah, we got a lot of big stuff coming up. Fight Circus is going super viral over and over. And that's like, so I'm thrilled that there's other avenues for fighters to get money after like trying to be the UFC champion is no longer the thing to do, right? Like they go, they make their run, they get out of there. Now they can go to Fight Circus. They can go to Thailand and get a bag at Fight Circus. They can come to Vegas and do Fight Circus. They can go to potentially Ibiza, Spain next, you know? So it's really cool that that exists. MVP is another big opportunity for a lot of people. Man, I wanna break some freaking news to you guys, but I don't think I'm allowed to break the fucking news. Just like the other day, I hadn't confirmed that Kenny Cross was on the show because I didn't talk to him. But then it's like, now it's public knowledge. So like we can openly talk about it super easily. But yeah, man. Oh, fuck. Let me call my manager, guys. Maybe tomorrow I'm going to have some fucking crazy breaking news for you guys regarding MVP and Netflix. It's a fucking huge announcement. Anyways, make sure you subscribe, tap the notifications, go to Fight Circus, go to Studio Millions. I love you guys. I'm hopping off. Peace.